Hi, hello, namaskara. In today's session, we are again continuing with the chapter number 3, that is current electricity. In today's session, we are only focusing on the current density, that is given with the symbol J. Okay, that is, if I start today's session, I want to take some equations from the last session. That is, we have written the equation for the resistivity from the basic equation R is equal to rho into L divided by A. I think you remember we have solved one problem. That is, we are having a wire with a length of somewhere, let us say 1 meter, and area of cross section. Okay, they have given, but area of cross section they have given in the form of what now? Diameter. I think that one is the first problem. Diameter is something they are given. Let us say they are given 1 millimeter. They have given. If it is so, calculate the resistance. They also given what is the resistivity, and you have done it. There is no problem. But there is another format of the question they may ask you. When in the question, if they ask in this way, we are having a conductor of side, we are having a conductor of side, let us say it is of 1 millimeter, and they will mention you what is the resistivity of that metal piece and ask you to calculate the resistance. Okay, moment this question has been asked, the shape of the conductor must strike your mind. Whenever they will say the side, then it must be of this shape. Now can see on the screen. Okay, this is of in this shape, means they have mentioned it is L value, right? Okay, that is of 1 millimeter. Therefore at the position of A, you can substitute as length into length. Otherwise you can write its length into breadth when it is a rectangle and when it is a square, a cube. Okay, therefore this is how we can understand the problem, because it's very hard to solve all the types of the problems. Therefore keep one point in your mind always. Whenever they will tell you that we are having a wire, it's understood that it is always of cylindrical in shape generally, and that instant they will give you either resistance, either radius or the diameter. Then you can have a equation for that, that is a pi r square, where A defines the area of cross section, where A defines the area of cross section. Here we have to take it as A as length into length, otherwise length into breadth. Okay, in that day, I have given you the analogy to understand the area of cross section with the potato. Here I can give the example of a that is when we get into the bakeries. If you get into the Iyengar bakeries, we are having a what is a pound of bread. Okay, you can observe there they are slicing into the small pieces, right? Therefore when I take a single slice from that, when I take a single slice from that, it is giving us a area of cross section of that bread. Okay, where I can observe only length into length. Okay, this is how we can solve some more problems, but due to time restriction we can't solve all the problems. Okay, but this is how we can interpret the question. Okay, after this one, from the last sessions we have gone through one concept, that is about the current. You know what you mean by the current. I is equal to Q by T. Yes, good. But I have explained another thing there, that is it is a scalar quantity or vector quantity. Try to recollect it. Is it a scalar quantity or vector quantity? If you remember, I mentioned it is always a scalar quantity only. We have mentioned it as a scalar quantity. But today what we will do, we'll do a small activity so that we can understand what is the difference between this normal current and the current we are studying, that is a current density today. Okay, let us say what we'll do now, we'll take a wire. Let us say here we are having a current of somewhere 5 ampere. We are having a current of how much ampere? Somewhere 5 ampere. From here I'll connect a, from here I connect an ammeter. What is the work of the ammeter? It measures the current. Okay, Now exactly from this side, I'll connect another wire, let us say of somewhere some 2 ampere. From that the current is flowing. Now we interpret that if it is a vector, what should be the answer? If it is a scalar, what should be the answer? Okay. Now I start with the first discussion, that is vector. We know that in a vector, when we are taking two quantities in the opposite direction, let us say if I take it as somewhere I1 and if I take it as I2, then I can say it that is I1 minus of I2, I1 minus of I2. If it is so, then I have to write 5 minus 2 is equal to how much ampere I must get here. If I observe, it is giving us how much? It's a 3 ampere. But when I do the same thing experimentally, when I do the same thing experimentally in the lab, we observe that ammeter is showing how much ampere? It is showing us a 7 ampere. What it does means, what the current here were obtaining at this point, and that will be measured by this ammeter, it is showing the 7 ampere, means these both current get added. These both current get added and they are giving us a 7 ampere. Therefore, there is no point to observe what should be the direction. Okay, as we are having here only direction, it doesn't explain us that it is a vector quantity, because when you do experimentally, it is showing the ideas which are very same as that of a scalar quantity. Therefore, remember, always current is a scalar quantity. Okay, with this information, now we are getting into the next part. That one is our main topic today, that is a current density. In the current density, we are obtaining very important points. Till now we understood what are the units for the current, what we mean by the current, but still not we have discussed about the strength of the current, that is strength of current, that will be observed here into what now? Current density. And remember, it is always a vector quantity. It is always a vector quantity. Why it is so, we'll get to know at the end of the explanation now. Okay, before getting into the definition and the equation, for that you have to go through some analogy so that we will be comfortable with our idea about the current density. Let us say we are having a pipe, okay, in this shape. Through that some water is flowing now. Through that some water is flowing, and I am considering it's always a streamline flow. You know that from the first year what do you mean by the streamline flow. Okay, for the streamline flow, I am taking, these are the streamline flow, water flow. Okay, now if you observe keenly, they are almost parallel to each other, and also we call this as a laminar flow. Okay, from this diagram I'll consider another 2 points. Okay, that is, I'll name this point as somewhere A and this point as somewhere as B now. Okay, now we are having here a pipe with the streamline flow water now. Okay, now if you observe from the diagram, at point A and point B, where you are obtaining the more area at A or B. If you observe from the diagram, area at A is greater than the area at B. Now, yes, as per the definition of the current, where we are having a direction of the electron, otherwise where we are having the direction of a current in a particular direction, because when I discuss the current, one point must be clear, that is where the current must be having a particular direction, and the same idea is explained for what now here, streamline flow, because in the streamline flow every water particle is having a particular direction. Therefore, I can take the same analogy for the current, what we are obtaining for what now, channel of water, otherwise here we are getting a streamline flow. Now what I will do, I want to know where the strength of the water is more. I want to know where the strength of water is more. Okay, Now to get the answer for that, can you think what the activity make we can means do, so that it will give the answer where the current where the strength of the water is more and where the strength is less. Now because this discussion leads us to understand in a conductor where the current strength is more and where it is less. Think of it now. Okay, to do that, now what we will do, we'll put a very small hole into this one here and the here. Now think of it, what will happen. Okay, moment I put the hole here by taking some pin, you can get that water will spilled out. Yes, there is no doubt. But check out where you are getting the more height of the water, at position A or at the position of B. If you observe keenly, at position B, we are getting more height of the water. We are getting the more height of the water comparing to the what now? At position A. Think of it. What is the reason behind that? If you think of it, we can say here the area of cross section. What the area of cross section at point A will be less, and at the position B it will be, at position A it will be more, at position of B it will be less. As a result, what will happen? At this position we are getting more water lines which are crowded, and here they are far apart. That leads us to understand there, whenever we are having the water flow which are very crowded, there will be the current, there will be the strength of the current, strength of the water will be more, and where the water lines are far apart, the strength is very less. Understood? The same concept I can apply for what now? Conductor. That is, I'll redraw that diagram now here. If we are having a conductor, okay, these are the current lines. If I take, these are the current lines. While observing the diagram, you can video, you can fast forward because it takes too much time. Okay, now what I will consider, these are what now here? Current lines, and these are the two area of cross section. I name the same thing as A position and B position. Means if I apply the same analogy what we are observing for the water flow for a conductor, here we can see at position B we are having a smaller area of cross section. Therefore I can say here at position B the strength of current is more. Remember, at position B strength of current is more comparing to the position A. Therefore we can explain the strength of the current by using two things. What is the first one? I must have one common thing, that is current must be in a particular direction. Otherwise I can say this will be observed for a steady current most of the time. Okay, for the variable current it will be extended part. Okay, we are not studying that now. Okay, but for this instance where the current must be constant, if I take it, at the same time in all this activity I'm always mentioning another thing. What is that now? Area. Always I'm mentioning what now here? Area. Therefore to explain the current density always we need two things, that is first one is current and second one is what now? Area. Second one is what now? Area. Therefore by using this one now we can able to define the current density, that is current density J. Current density J is electric current per unit area. Electric current per unit area taken normal to the direction of a current. Normal to the direction of current. Okay, here as we have written the area. Okay, this area what we are keeping, it is always normal, otherwise perpendicular to the, it is always normal or perpendicular to the current direction. Then only I can take this equation, J is equal to I by A. Now, as we are having here particular direction with respect to area, that is, we are explaining that it is always normal to the area. Therefore, it must have a particular direction. Therefore, I can write here J as a vector quantity. J is equal to I by A. Therefore, current density must be a vector quantity. Therefore, now onwards, don't get confused, that is current is always a scalar quantity and current density must be a vector quantity. And this parameter we are using in the next chapter also, that is moving charges and magnetism. Therefore, remember this equation now. Okay, now one point is clear what we mean by the current density. If I see the definition of it, that is electric current per unit area taken normal to the direction of a current, where J bar is equal to I by A. Now, if I want to know what is its SI unit, yes, current will be the ampere and area will be given by what now here? Meter square. Therefore, I can say area per meter square is the SI unit for what now? Current density. Okay, now after this one we are having another question. What is the direction of a current? Okay, so it's a vector quantity, no doubt about it. But when I given with some diagrams, okay, when I given with some different physical quantities, for example, when I mention you the electric field, when I mention you the electrons direction, okay, and when I mention you the current direction, with respect to these, what will be the direction of the current density? I had to explain all those things. Therefore, for that again, we'll take another sheet now, where what I will do, let us say the same diagram putting. Okay, I'll make it fast now. Okay, now here's the diagram now. Okay, now already from the diagram I can conclude that this one is the current direction. That is, I'll take here, this one is what now? Current direction. Okay, now if anybody asks you what is the direction of a current density J bar, what is the direction of current density J bar? Remember, direction of the current density is always along the direction of current itself. That is, it will be in the same way. It will be in the same way. Therefore, you can see in the diagram, that is I and the J are along the same line. Clear? Now, another parameter I am taking, that is with respect to electron motion. With respect to electron motion, what is the direction of the current density? Okay, for this one you have to think of the very initial concept, that is conventional flow of current. What do you mean by the conventional flow of current? That is, the direction of the current is always opposite to the direction of a motion of an electron. Means if electron is moving in this direction, if electron is moving in this direction, then current density is opposite to that. Current density is opposite to that. Okay. Similarly, another physical quantity I want to mention here, that is, if I am taking electric field, if I am taking electric field, think of it. Is it along the direction of the current density or opposite to the direction of a current density now? Okay, if you think of it, if this is the electric field we are creating, that is always it runs from positive to the negative, then again from this one I can conclude here, that is again the direction of J, that is current density, is always along the direction of the electric field. If I conclude in small, that is direction of the current density is parallel to the current, parallel to what now? Electric field, and it is opposite to the electron motion. This is how we can discuss about the direction of current density. Now, another general question will arise whenever I write the equation for the densities in chemistry or physics. We are having what now? Mass divided by volume. Okay, most of the time whenever we are discussing, we have to interpret about the volume. But in this current density, I am only taking what now here, area concept. That may be the one question may arise for you. Okay, this question will be answered in your next chapter, that is moving charges and magnetism. And this area concept, what we are writing for the current density, also tells us that current always it's a 2D. Remember, current always it's a 2D, it's not a 3D. That is, current always flows on the surface of the conductor. Okay, therefore the more explanation for this one we are getting in what now, next chapter, moving charges and magnetism, where we are getting more that is where we are discussing about the 3D also. Okay, where we are getting the clear picture why it is so, why we are only taking the area vector. Okay, if I am taking the volume, okay, if I want to take the volume, what are the conditions I have to assume? Okay, all those concepts we are studying in the next one. We'll solve one small problem. With that, we'll conclude today's session now. Okay, now, yes, it's easy. Find the current density in a wire of diameter zero point 0.2 centimeter in which current of 10 ampere flows. Okay, it's already told that it's a wire. The idea should come in your mind. It must be in cylindrical shape now. Okay, therefore where they have mentioned you the diameter of how much, 0.2 centimeter, 0.2 centimeter, therefore I can write it as 0.2 centimeter can be converted into meter by multiplying 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Okay, this is the diameter. Thereafter he told you that what is the current we are obtaining here, that is of I of how much value, of 10 ampere. Now what is our aim? I want to know the current density. Therefore, to get the current density, already we know the equation. Okay, J is equal to I divided by A. J is equal to I divided by A. Okay, we know the current, but to get the area, have they given the area? No, but we have provided with what now? Diameter. Therefore, area can be written as here, it's a is equal to pi r square, because if I take the cross section of it now. But here again the radius is not given, but to get the radius we have to take the half of the diameter, that is d divided by 2 now. Therefore d is how much now, it's a 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 2 whole divided by 2. That results in 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 2. 10 raised to minus 2 meter is the radius. Okay, now by using this one, now we can substitute here, that is J is equal to, current is how much now, it's a 10 whole divided by, area can be written as pi r square here. Okay, area can be written as pi r square. For the pi I can substitute here 3.142 into, for the radius I can substitute as 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 2 whole square now. Okay, therefore 10 divided by 3.142 into 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 2 whole square we are having, means I have to take it here 0.1 into 0.1, 0.1 into 0.1. If I make it, I'll get the answer as how much here, 0.01. Similarly, if I take it here 10 raised to minus 2 whole square, okay, if I square it, okay, if I square it, I'll get the answer as here what now, 10 raised to minus 4. Therefore I can write it here, it's a into 10 raised to minus 4. Okay, it goes to the numerator, it will be 10 raised to plus 4. Okay, on solving, if I standardize, the answer coming out to be 3.18. 3.18 into 10 raised to 6 we are obtaining the answer for the current density, that is ampere per meter square. Understood? This is how we can understand the application part of this current density. If you are having any doubt about the theory part what we have discussed, you can ask me the question on this number. I am writing that number, that is 8217 48 9397 9397 9397. I'll repeat here, I'll check it the number 8217489397. Okay, on this number you can send me the doubt. Okay. If you are having some numerical problems, you can send me the picture of it. I will try to solve them. Okay, what the numerical I had discussed it in the last session. Watch the complete video. Okay, and take the same question afterwards. Okay, thereafter don't observe the solution on your own. Try to do it in the detail. Okay. Okay, now from the next session I want to add some Kannada conversations also, so that it will be more active, and for me it will be easier, and for me it's more interesting rather than only explaining in the English. Okay, we'll again in the next session we get into the another concept, examination point of view, that will be very important, that is about what now, drift velocity. Okay, thank you.